at you real quick. Put the link in here. Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, everybody? This is Jay Leno. I'm here with my guy, Jave. What's going on, Brody?
Yeah, just chilling.
All right, man. So, I mean, you see the title. We're going to be talking about, let's talk about Kanye West. We're going to start off with this Vultures 2 album, and then we're going to get brief with that. And then, Jave got some intel for us. I don't know. I can't call it a conspiracy, Jave. I can only say, you pointing something out to us. But how'd you like the Vultures 2 album?
I was a little underwhelmed. And I say that because the bar that I hold Kanye at is just not up to par with Kanye. Mm-hmm. I think he has the greatest album of all time in his discography with Beautiful Twisted Dark. Mm-hmm. And I think some of his other albums might be in the top 10 list. But it's just not up to par with that level. I don't think it's at Donda level. I just think a lot about the album, I didn't like it. It seemed like it was unfinished. Like he was throwing his ideas around, and it sounds like a bunch of reference tracks. When you listen to it, it doesn't sound like a finished product. I do like the first song on that album, the intro, crazy. I think I do think that
by the way, to interject, I don't even think the album is done because he keeps updating it periodically.
Yeah. So it might not be done, but maybe I'll like the finished product, but it doesn't sound like a finished product. It sounds like a bunch of reference tracks and just not finished. And I know he's Kanye, he has the power to do whatever he wants, and so that's what he did. But I know he could do better. That's one thing I do know for sure. What are your thoughts?
Well, all right. So I don't agree with this updating this album periodically. Maybe he's doing it for the notifications and set premieres for YouTube purposes, to where each time something lands, when it sets off as like premiering now, and it gets attention for each individual song. I don't agree with that. And to be honest with you, post Dark Twisted Fantasy, gradually, I don't look for Kanye verses in his songs. I like his music, but he's not one of my favorite artists. Post Dark Twisted Fantasy, like I listen to the Sonics. I look forward to listening to other people's verses, but Kanye hasn't delivered to me a phenomenal verse since Dark Twisted Fantasy. So, I mean, the beats is nice, but I don't like how his lyrics is matched on these beats.
I felt that way about the first Vultures. I'm gonna give him a little more credit. After My Beautiful Twisted Dark, I think he rapped well on Watch the Throne. I would say.
That was after Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Yeah.
Then okay. Well, then I'll take that back. Then he did rap well. I agree.
I'm gonna give him some credit for Life of Pablo, of rapping well. And then I'll give him a little bit of credit for Donda. But everything since Donda, I agree with you. The rapping has been a little subpar, but I really think it's a good music issue, not necessarily a Kanye issue. Because I think what happened to his writers and the people that he works with, I feel like he's pissed off everybody that's helped him along the way. He ran into a beef with Sean, who's gave him a lot of verses, a beef with Saha. He's got a beef with Push. He's got a No
Everybody's
longer,
using Saha now. Saha got
no
acknowledgement for being a songwriter.
no
I'm with you
longer
there.
Cuddy, so it seems like the people that gave him the secret sauce is no longer around as far as writing these verses, putting these hooks together.
I mean, Kanye. This Vultures 2 album sounds like a person who was on their way to church and just decided that they're not going to go to church and they're tired of asking Jesus to forgive them for their sins.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not mad at that synopsis.
I feel kind of. I mean, like I've listened to sinful music before, but for some reason it just doesn't settle with me right to hear gospel and then leading into a verse about getting your dick sucked.
Well, I mean,
And I just got done listening to the Eminem album. At least I know.
what you get.
Yeah. I feel. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, he's been on this route for about 3 albums now. The formula itself comes from another artist that he's worked with. I don't know if you remember Chance, but if you ever listen to Coloring Book and Life of Pablo, they're very similar. Chance's Coloring Book is a lot of gospel samples with hardcore rapping and harmonizing, which is similar to Life of Pablo.
I feel like Chance is still light compared to the vulgarness of Kanye.
Yeah, Chance is not as vulgar. He's definitely not as vulgar, but the formula is still consistent. You gotta understand, like, I think he stole the idea from Chance and he just mastered it a lot better. Because Kanye knows sonically the perfect BPM to make you fall in love with a song. So he could take a sample, speed it up, slow it down to where the tempo is just right so that he can transform you and hypnotize you melodically. And that's what he's done over his past 4 albums.
That's the beat. That's the beat. Like
yeah.
Like, okay. For instance, like give me a Donda verse. Give me a couple of Donda bars that you could think of right now. It's tough.
I can't say them verbatim.
I know you can't. That's the point that I'm trying to prove.
Yeah.
But if I ask you to do Dark Twisted Fantasy, you could give me something.
Yeah.
You honestly, you could probably do it for Yeezus. Like yeah. I don't think Ye has anything important to say in the verse since then.
Yeah, he's
memorable.
Not the same. Yeah, he's in a different place. He's in a different space mentally. He's definitely not as militant as he used to be. He seems to be in a space where he's a carefree rich man that can live the life of a luxurious rich man. He can get drunk, have orgies, and make $1 million business calls. That's what his music is about at this point in life right now.
With the gospel behind it.
Yeah. Crazy. A lot of Christians having orgies too.
I guess it just depends on what you're willing to accept. But yeah, I mean, like to even add on to this, it might be the stuff outside of hip hop that kind of has like refrained me and from being the biggest Kanye West fan. Because I would honestly like to just enjoy his music. I know he wants to be bigger than just a musician. But you had just mentioned, we're not making anything up here. A lot of these hits, these albums, these concept albums they were his ideas, but they were written by other people and they're not there anymore. And I think that's why we're missing those memorable verses from him. The hooks are always there. The beats are always there. But you know what? We don't have Kid Cudi. We don't have Big Sean. We don't have Rhyme Fest.
I have Saha.
This is Pusha T around. I
don't think he's around. You would hear it if he was around.
I don't see no influence from those artists around. We're getting Ye now.
Yeah, we're getting the true essence of Ye. This is his thoughts, his mind.
This
you know what?
Yeah.
After 20 years of having a lot of ghostwriters, it might be refreshing to hear Ye think for himself. You know what I'm saying? Let's
He's
hear
not
it.
saying nothing though.
I think he's at the point where he might not want to say anything. I think when you move up in life, you get a certain kind of I don't give a fuck money. Your values change.
Well, okay. See, with me, this is where I share a difference from you because this man can sit there and compose and orchestrate all these sonics and do all these things and then give us something like so simple out of a verse. He's not that complicated when it comes to projecting out his opinion and thoughts, but he can manipulate sound.
Yeah.
And to keep it a buck, even that song he had with Game on which album was that? Was that the first Vultures?
Nah, that was on Games album. That was on
It
Games
was
album.
also on Vultures, I thought.
Nah. It was on Games album.
Okay. Well, I mean, even that song itself, if you really think about what he just said, like all he did was talk about how he wanted, the situation he had with Kim Kardashian, and he wanted to fight Pete Davidson.
Yeah. Yeah.
This album almost sounded like cult music.
At this point right now, what do you think Kanye is doing?
I guess he's trying to build a cult.
Oh, I thought you said Coke music. My bad.
Cult, 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 cult music.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like Coke music too. You are high, and you are about to have a good weekend with a big bitch with some big titties. Play this album. You know what I mean? And the first one. You know what I mean? Just saying. I think he's at that rock star stage in his life right now. And the music is going to represent that. I don't think we're going to get credible, thoughtful, militant Kanye. We are going to get Steven Tyler, high Kanye right now. You know what I mean?
I feel like this is that moment when James Brown was off the coke bag real bad, and he still had to perform his hit songs.
Yeah.
You like the song, but it's like I'm just watching him spiral out throughout the years, more than anything.
But to me, this is the only album where the lyrics don't match the music. I can at least be honest with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Donda, the lyrics match the music.
Mm-hmm.
He might have harmonized and rapped less on Donda. It still matched.
I wouldn't be surprised if we heard that he didn't have nothing to do with those either. He might have found someone else to do that.
I mean, when Donda came out, he kind of flew out the entire industry. So I mean, everybody was coming to Colorado and penning the verse or writing the verse. So I'm sure he had a lot of help on that. But I think this one sounds like it's totally him by himself. He's isolated himself in music anyway. But I think at this point, he's where he can experiment and do whatever he wants right now. He's not signed to a label. He's independent. He's putting out his own music. So he's going to do what he wants. He doesn't have to clear it with nobody. All he's doing is uploading and pushing a button.
Okay, I got an honest opinion. Is Kanye West... Has Kanye West ever wrote music for other people?
People have said that he wrote Best I Ever Had for Drake. But,
I thought Kia Sean wrote that.
You know what?
But you remember Kanye produced the music video.
Yeah, he did. There's a few songs where they say that Ye wrote. They say Ye wrote a few hooks on the Black album.
He had a reference track for Lucifer.
Yeah, and he did write majority of his first album. He might have had a little help from Ron Fest and Kweli and them, but he wrote a lot of his first album also. Second album too. But I mean, he's written. I think he just had the luxury of being surrounded by some wonderful talent. So should Kanye be on the great producer list, or should Kanye West be on the all-time rapper list? I will put him on the artist list.
And what does that consist of?
A combination of being able to rap, sing, harmonize, Uh, yo, the one trick
Pop,
pony.
pop. He's on a pop list. That's what you want to say. When you say artist, you mean pop.
No, I mean like a true artist, because you have rappers and then you have artists.
But
Like,
pop music is all that stuff all together, bro. If you want to put other people in there too.
but I think as an artist, you still do only hip hop, so I don't count him as pop.
Okay, well, I guess I mean, okay, award shows put them in that category, but like, depending on the single, for some reason, I don't understand why. I think Kanye's been put in the pop category before.
Uh, I'm not sure about that. He's normally in the rap category or the hip hop category. I mean, you could be a hip hop artist and not be a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I get
Childish Gambino is an artist. He raps, he sings, he
it.
harmonizes, he does auto
Mhm.
tune. He's not just a rapper. So I look at Kanye, Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi sings, harmonizes,
He's in the rap category. Yeah.
huh?
I said he's in the hip hop category as well. So you have a point.
Drake, he harmonizes, he sings, he raps, he does more than one thing on a beat. So he's probably, if not 1A or 1B, the greatest artist of all time. It's either him or Drake, whichever one you want to put ahead of the other one.
I
Um,
One shocker with this album I just wanted to include in this conversation. I haven't seen much buzz around the release of these tracks and these albums that I normally get from when Kanye drops. Is it the same way with the on your timeline or
uh,
amongst the camaraderie around the people that you talk music to?
I haven't heard much about it. A lot of the big podcasts have talked about it. The thing is, he's independent, so a lot of when you're independent, the marketing budgets and the dollars are not being spent the way they would be spent if you are on a major label.
How long has he been independent?
He's been independent since he made statements about the Jews and got dropped from Def Jam.
Was that I think that was last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's been independent for a while.
And he's dropped an album since then, hasn't he?
Yeah, the first Vultures.
Okay, he got the first Vultures. The first Vultures had a decent press run.
Yeah, it went number one week one, but the content and the quality was high. I think this one he just really went and dropped something.
I don't. I mean, it's starting to feel like, man. I don't. This tactic, I don't think worked well. I think across the board, there's a lot of heat out here, a lot of music. People are dropping jewels right now as far as albums and songs go, and this is not the best. Ye, I think Ye should have sat down with this project a little bit longer.
I'm not mad at that. I think Ye is in a space where he's overly confident, overly arrogant, and thinks he can do whatever he wants, and it'll still be successful. And right, he doesn't have anybody that can tell him no at this point because he's independent. He's gonna continue to do what he wants.
Do you think Casuals is going to be banging this song out, or do you think this album is going to be dedicated towards Ye fans?
I think Ye fans will like it, but I don't think casuals will like it. On that Vultures album, there were two hits on there. The song with uh the rapper from Gary.
Freddie Gibbs?
Yeah, the Freddie Gibbs song was a very good hit for that album, and the Carnival song was a hit. The Carnival song had a TikTok to go with it also. So unless we see a TikTok buzz or a gimmick, I don't see this album having the same success as the first Vultures. But I really think it was just something to put out. I think he wanted to keep his name in the buzz for a certain amount of time, and that we may be getting something better later on. I think it was a good temperature check, but I don't think this is a quality album.
I mean, what at this point, do you think good music has spiraled out?
Yes, but I think it was planned.
Man, okay. What do you mean by that?
I think Kanye. I want to say everybody on Good Music put out 3 albums, right? I think John Legend had 3 albums on Good Music. Big Sean had 3 albums. Pusha T had 3 albums.
I think Cuddy might have had 4.
Cuddy had 4.
Mhm.
Travis put out, I think, 2 or 3 albums that was on Good Music and Grand Hustle.
It's got
And
2.
he put out the group album. He put out 2 Chainz album. So, in my opinion,
Even
uh,
though he was never good music.
oh yeah, true. Um, I think that
The female artists too, they've dropped it. How many did the female artists drop?
Breonna Taylor dropped 1 album, but I think, in my opinion, I think that he was not running the label for a certain amount of time, but I don't think his goal was to continue making albums for other people. I think he wanted to get that business done and out the way, and then go back to focusing on his own career. And I think he did that. I think he was successful with Sean. He was successful with Push. He was successful with Travis, and he got it done and out the way.
I don't think he's tapped in music like that, like he once was. I mean, he's got a lot of other business ventures that he's been interested in. I mean, I know he sat down and was into his music during Donda, but I think this might just be some shelved music. I don't know. It's just
could be. Like I said, I know right now that people say there's not a lot of money in music. A lot of people not selling. A lot of people still getting robbed by the music industry. So right now, if you put music out, it's best to just put it out and see what sticks, see what hangs, and then bite the bullet. But a lot of low risk, high reward moves being made right now.
Does this album and even the first Vultures, does this put Kanye West, like, is he still up there with the Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole's in this climate? Not his overall career, but I mean, is he is he as iconic as them
right now?
Yeah, right now. Oh, actually, we could throw in Eminem in there right now because he has the best-selling album right now as well.
Yeah, I mean, he still had a #1 album week 1, even though it's not his prime. So
is this #1 right now? This ain't #1 right now.
I'm saying the Vultures won.
Oh, okay.
The #1 album when it came out this year. So he's still hitting his mark and hitting his numbers. I don't know if this one will, but
was that before Drake that Vultures dropped?
Drake hasn't dropped an album this year.
I'm talking about the first Vultures.
First Vultures came out in February of this year.
So I thought Drake wasn't too far behind that for All the Dogs.
Nah, that came out last year in September.
Okay, my fault. Okay.
So this year he was able to get a #1. So either way, he's still hitting his benchmark numbers. I don't think he had a bigger run in Future. I don't think he had a bigger run in Eminem, but he just.
Oh yeah, Metro. I mean Metro. Metro Boomin's album is clearly better than this album.
I'm not mad at that, but I don't know if that came out this year.
The Metro Boomin's came out a long time with the Like That remix. Right before the summer. That was Metro. I thought that was Metro Boomin's album, not Future's album.
Nah, it's both of theirs. They both collabed.
Okay, they're collab. It's a collab album. So
yeah. So, but if I had to go in top 3,
I thought this was also. Was it a separate project with Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign, or is this the Ty Dolla $ign and him collaboration?
So Vultures 1 is Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye. It came out in February, and then Vultures 2 is still Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye also.
Okay.
So, but if I have to rank albums, he's in the top 3 this year as far as hip hop. I would go Future as my 1, Eminem as my 2, and Kanye as my 3.
Over the J. Cole, that album that he flushed.
Yeah, we gonna leave it in the toilet. That would make
Was
me.
it? So you not rocking with that J. Cole album? Is that what you're saying?
I'm a big Cole fan, but what he did after the album makes it not good.
Is it the apology? I
Yeah,
mean, okay, so if he didn't do that, where would you have J. Cole? Would J. Cole be above Kanye then if he didn't do that shit?
actually,
That's
no,
the real question.
nah, nah. When I listen to that and I go back and listen to it, out of I think 16 songs, it's a lot of skips, and that wasn't a complete album to me either. Wasn't
Was
a J Cole par either.
was Kanye was this Kanye better than the Joyner Lucas joint?
Album?
Yeah.
I haven't heard Joyner's album.
Okay.
I haven't
I'm
heard.
just trying to see what other albums to put up against before we get to three.
Mhm.
I mean, because it obviously has to be a bit of iconic. But okay, all right.
I had to go through the list of albums. I've still got Future as my number one, M is my number two. I would say that Vulture's one is my number three, and then J Cole is four.
I'm gonna real quick look up albums released in hip hop albums released in 2024. Hold on. In 2024. All right, so here we go. Is this Kanye better than Benny the Butcher's album?
Yes.
Is it better than 21 Savage's American Dream?
I'll say no.
I go with the 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Let me see here, anything that sticks out even more. I like Dark Times album by Vince Staples as well. More. But I mean that I don't think I'm gonna have a majority or a big vote on that one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
What about Gunna's album, One of One?
I'm not a fan of that. Others might think it's better though. Not gonna lie. I don't. The Mac and Cheese album I didn't think was that good,
Okay.
and I like the finish with it. But it's not a lot to choose from right now.
I said a lot of stuff hasn't came out yet. Stuff's on the way.
Yeah. You got.
I did like Kid Cudi's Insano more than that. Did you listen to Schoolboy Q's album?
That was a good album. It was a good album.
Okay.
It didn't stick though. It came and went with me very well.
Okay.
I didn't go back to it. And I'm a little biased. I've had the Future and Metro album, both of them, on repeat all year. So I haven't stopped playing that album since March.
This might be a tough take. What about Meg Thee Stallion's album?
It's a good album. I have to hear it a few more times. I breezed through it maybe one time.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's not a bad. That's not a bad album though. And she doesn't get a lot of credit either for her abilities.
Cause I mean, we gonna hear Meg. I mean, even I hear Meg without the radio. So
Sure.
I'm gonna say she get bumped. Okay, man. I mean, that's any closing statements you got for this Kanye West right now, or?
Well, it is. Let's talk. Is he a GOAT or not? How do you feel? Where do you rank him? I mean, a lot of people saying he don't have the sauce. The writers doing all the work. How do you feel about that? Or do you put him in the same place you put Drake?
At this point, like the older I get, and because I have access to this information, that every artist in the history of hip hop has a reference track on their album, if not several, or go through that moment itself. So when for people who don't understand what a reference track is when you go visit a producer or them in the studio, they will have a song already queued up that needs a verse on it. And they try to sell that hit song to the artist that's visiting them. And so with me, I feel like Kanye West's music might be full of way more references than Drake's. And
Mm.
at this point, I don't disqualify people for having reference tracks or having ghostwriters if they can prove that they could still make music themselves.
Yeah,
If they can still make it without it and still use that too.
not mad at that. Not mad at
So
that.
to me, that honestly, these last couple of albums from Kanye ensured me that when it comes to being an MC, that Kanye is not better than Drake.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
And to be honest with you, with this 100 gigs that just dropped, and for
Mhm.
me to have an opportunity to see like the career of Drake's progression and all the hits that I forgot he gave us,
Yeah.
Drake has moved up on my GOAT list.
Okay.
Ye
Okay.
has dropped. Ye wasn't in my top five though, as
Okay.
far as greats.
Okay.
But he is a great, but he's not a GOAT. He's not on a GOAT. He's not a GOAT on my on any. And
I,
he's not my top five, and he's not my top 10. That'll answer my question because I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm gonna put him. He's not in the. He's in my top 10 in the rapper list, but in the artist list, he's 1A, 1B with Drake.
No.
I look at Drake and Kanye like LeBron and MJ, and right now you can say Kanye is the GOAT, right? Just like MJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
But every year Drake do something else and put something else on the resume to where it make it harder and harder to say MJ is the GOAT. Like we can give Kanye the title right now, but this year and next year, Drake is gonna make it harder and harder for us to deny it.
See, I can't 1A and 1B it because okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now.
Mm-hmm.
What if Prince wrote a song for Michael Jackson
Mm-hmm.
and Jackson never wrote a song for him? I think to the fact that Kanye West has sought after Drake to get songs from him, and Drake's wrote so many songs for him that he pretty much gave Drake acknowledgement that he needed that nigga for something, and he's supposed to be in competition with him. So I gotta put Drake above him.
Okay. Okay. No matter. No mad at it.
Mm.
Like I said, I have no qualms as far as it could be either way.
I mean, to the fact that he's went after, he's wanted Drake to make music for him to save his album, and he flew him out to Wyoming. He's not a 1A 1B. He's two. He's a solid two.
I'm mad at it. I'm a Drake guy anyway, so I'm,
What's
I'm having beefs in the streets. They calling me OVO JAVE. You know what I mean?
so? Okay, what I got for you is in okay, give me your top five best rap careers. This, I mean, album sales can include with this, but I'm talking about their rap story, their progression from, I guess, from where they started to where they're in. Like, who's got the top five most fascinating rap careers in the history of hip hop?
Jay-Z, from hustler to businessman, from gangster to gentleman. Um, One of the most interesting stories to me because it shows you a person changing from a street person to a businessman, teaches you how to think, motivates you to attain and achieve higher.
The American Dream.
He makes true hustler music. Like you can't listen to Jay-Z and not be inspired to go get some money. So I would go one Jay-Z, two Lil Wayne, because the story of Wayne evolving from being the least important member of Cash Money to being the most important member of Cash Money. Uh, there's never been a greatest rapper ever from New Orleans. Um, he he's been he was the most different rapper to set all of the trends. Um, there was nobody with dreads. There was nobody with colored dreads. There was nobody with shades and tattoos. Um, He was a one of one. There was a time when all the rappers had low cut fades and muscles. Nobody else had skinny jeans and skateboarder shoes and was rapping like the best in the world. Two would be Lil Wayne. Three would be Drake. Um, I think there's something to be said about being looked at as not cool to the coolest man in the world, and that's a story in itself. Going from the least popular square guy to that nigga, and remembering that you was that nigga and still being that nigga. Um, Drake is the only artist who has a song where he says, "I played my girl a song and she said, 'Hey, can you turn this off so we can listen to Ludacris?'"
Mhm. He
That's
started. He started off as a. I mean, like to the world, he started off as an R&B artist with the on a Trey Songz feature.
yeah. A chick told him he would never be as big as Trey Songz. Like, so his going from being an actor to being a rapper to being an artist, being a Canadian, that's a different perspective from a lot of people. Uh, you know, him having music in his genes, with his dad playing for Jimi Hendrix, he's got a great story, in my opinion. Um,
Mhm.
I think I'm at four, right? Four would be 50. The story of how he became 50, him beefing with Preem, Ja Rule, him having to fight everybody in New
He was a
York.
real gangster rapper.
Yeah.
We had a whole plethora of fake ass gangster rappers.
Yeah. And
Actually, all of them was. He's like the realest rapper we've ever had.
you gotta look at it too, man. He is the greatest beefer of all time. He don't sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's on his enemy's ass. 48 laws of power, everything. He's gonna stuff your head in the dirt. He's never gonna get up off you. He's gonna
He's
back.
the bar. He's the bar of being a gangster rapper.
He is a definition of standing on business for life. So
Yeah.
um, that would be my four, and I would say my five. I'm gonna go a different direction than probably what you would think. It might be no. My five might be a tie. Um, uh, I'll go with Nelly. Has one of the greatest stories ever. Coming as a group artist, turned into a solo artist, having a whole different sound. One of the first to start harmonizing over beats. Coming out of the Midwest, there was no rappers from St. Louis when he dropped. He started a whole movement because it's a bunch of other rappers that popped from the Midwest that wouldn't have been found without him.
Hey, I'm just gonna tap you on your head on your noggin one time.
Hmm.
You just not gonna Pac what didn't have a fascinating story?
He did. He did.
He
But
ain't in your five?
um,
The whole Black Panther going from Digital Underground to Death Row Records, being an actor.
I look at it like I feel like Kanye has that story.
Okay.
Mother was also in the struggle like that. I just think him being a gangster, a lot of people had that gangster story is told a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of rappers started selling dope and beating niggas up. You know what I'm saying? It was very common.
It's your list. I just
Yeah,
thought
yeah, yeah.
maybe you forgot about his career, but okay.
And then another one, my sixth would be Ti.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Coming from Atlanta, uh, being a kind of like an independent artist. He was signed to LA Reid, but he wasn't believed in, and he kind of created his own sound, created his own genre, created his own type of music, ran his own label, top selling artist in the city, called himself the king of the South, and challenged anybody who had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? And it had no problem with it. It was respected. So I go with Ti on that also.
Okay. Any honorable mentions? I'll
Tupac.
give you two. I'll give you two honorable mentions because
Mhm.
you know say you got two. Tupac is one of your honorable mentions. Anybody else?
One of my honorables. Diddy. I know we ain't allowed to say his name right now. No Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
But Puff is an honorable mention. He was a big inspiration. Him coming, being a producer, him working behind the scenes, and then when Biggie died and Mace left, saying I'll do it myself. Very, very, very inspiring story. Not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I know he under duress right now, but hey, facts is facts. I'm trying to think of another honorable mention story.
I got Cameron in my honorable mention.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That's a hustler story right there.
Because when I come to figure out, he was cool with a lot of these gangsters and was tapped in New York pretty well,
Yeah,
borough to borough.
yeah. I think Fab has a good story. Fab, real nigga. He was one of the few artists from New York that came in without a clique.
Mm-hmm.
It was no Rough Riders. It was no Rockefeller. No nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was literally a solo artist from that. He had Desert Storm, but I mean, no click.
You know what? You know who we didn't put in our top five that can't be refuted out of it.
DMX.
Snoop.
Yeah, yeah.
We can't refute that. We gotta. I mean, we might have to bump Nelly out. I'm gonna have to bully Nelly out for your Snoop.
Hey man, I'm gonna keep Nelly, dog. But yeah, Snoop. But see,
because it's not just the music; it's like the career
nah,
of the whole.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's the whole career. Like
a lot of niggas from LA that was gang banging and beating niggas up like Snoop. So was Cube.
he's the most friendliest. He's the world's favorite. He's America's favorite pimp, bro.
Yes.
The world's famous gangster.
Hey.
World's famous Crip.
Hey. Him and Ice-T got a very similar story.
I mean, but Ice-T ain't in the Olympics.
Ice-T on Law and Order right now.
I know, but Ice-T cut his ponytail off.
Hey, still him. He's still with Coco.
Well, look. If you think Ice-T's career is better than Snoop's, then you can have it. I'm gonna say, as a rap career, Snoop is still moving milestones in his career right now. So
I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying the story of a gangster from LA was very common when Snoop came along. That's all. I mean, there was an Eazy-E.
But the success he had to starting off with Death Row, then moving over to No Limit and having all those hit songs of No Limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then linking up with Pharrell, him and Pharrell having a nice relationship, getting that's music off.
Yeah, great music.
I'm just saying career wise. I mean, actor, pop icon, world renowned rapper, the most famous rapper of all. Right now, he's the most famous rapper of all time.
Right, but the story of how he started was very common at the time. He was not the first.
Well, it wasn't just about origin. I said overall rap careers.
Okay, he has a great career.
But some things you're not gonna be. I'm not gonna allow you to refute. You can do what you want, but you can't refute this. This man he should have a slated slot in a hip hop careers.
He's had a great career.
His shit should be cemented in, bro.
It's cemented. It is. You know what I'm saying? Don't let my opinion change anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the story of how it started. You know what I'm saying? Is very common. You know what I mean?
I get you. It's regular nigga shit. I get you.
He was not the first nigga to come from LA that gangbanged in rap. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean that's not, to me, that's not like the highlight of his rap career.
I know. But everybody that I named, because you said origin and story.
Yeah.
I'm just naming people that had different stories.
Because I mean like the culture of what was going on in hip hop, like beyond him being a Crip before he was doing this, being involved with Death Row, like the whole Death Row shenanigans itself is probably one of the most fascinating things to ever happen in hip hop. Even the involvement of Tupac's death.
Not mad at all. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's also part of like the stages of the most one of the most successful independent rap labels in hip hop history with No Limit. Snoop has like a line of that story as well.
Yeah. Like I said, Snoop has a very great career. You know what I mean? Very great
I
career.
got you.
I'm mad at it.
I got you. Okay, man. About to
Also
say
DMX too. Also DMX.
DMX got a fascinating story.
Yeah. Fascinating story.
I wanted to shoot Swizzy in the foot. Maybe he just didn't have anybody that wanted to go up against DMX, but I didn't think Snoop and DMX was a good versus. Like an idea, a matchup.
Nah. I think it was. I think it was. I just think that there was a lot of respect in the battle, and it wasn't a battle. You know, I think when we watched that versus, DMX respectfully just paid homage to Snoop, and Snoop was out there rapping like he was in a real battle. You know what I mean?
I wasn't coming from a place of like they had to like to me. I don't think the hit for hit versus each other. I just didn't think it matched very well in energy and music. I thought Busta and DMX would have been a better cup of tea. I almost think. I mean, Eminem was going to jump out there and do it with DMX. I didn't. I also another one I didn't agree with. I didn't agree with 3 6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs. Like sonically, them going back and forth. It just to me it didn't. You know, it didn't match that energy for in different kind of music.
They had a real beef. I think that's why they selected them. Real tension between the two of them. But it's a hard pick because I don't know a Southern group that could go against if Pimp C was still alive, UGK verse 3-6 would be very, very good. Or 8 Ball and MJG.
That would have been a good one.
That would be beautiful. But a lot of the people don't know about the underground 8 Ball and MJG, so that's a long story. I don't even think we got time to get into that. You know
yeah, I mean as far as the internet goes, you're right.
JG in your life, you know what I mean? Space age pimping.
Yeah, their fans wouldn't even get on the internet to watch it. They wouldn't even know about the verses if they even threw it in.
You know what I'm saying? Learn yourself. You know what I mean? Good rapping on that shit. 8 Ball. Monster. You know
and I don't think Dungeon Family was going to come back because the 3 6 Mafia and them got almost as many hits as the Dungeon Family.
I think the Dungeon Family would need to battle somebody else from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I thought them and 3 6. Well, no, because not all the Dungeon Family is like upbeat. That is a tough one. You're right.
It's hard. I don't even. And the Dungeon Family so big.
I almost want to put them there. How can you put No Limit up in there? You can. I mean, I don't know.
I would put No Limit versus the Old Cash Money. Nobody else.
I mean, the Old Cash Money. I can see that.
I mean, No Limit. Got to see BG, Juvenile, Wayne.
No, I didn't see BG and Juvenile. Wayne wasn't really around like that for that.
Wayne still better go out there and perform The Block Is Hot. He still better go out there and do his verse for Project Chick. You know what I mean? He can go out there and do Shine. You know what I'm saying? He had a few of them out there. He just wasn't the guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And you still got Birdman and Manny too. I got
that's see, I did forget them.
I got Cash Money smoking No Limit in that battle. I ain't gonna lie.
If you're talking early, honestly, dude, we were so young for No Limit. Like I wouldn't know what to put up against it. No Limit was like before my time.
You got Bird
because by the time the first time I started listening to No Limit was when like Shook the Soccer Made Man had dropped.
Yeah.
Like and like No Limit had hits. He had a gang of hits before then. He was
basically
on some UGK underground shit though too.
Yeah, they got a catalog. You know what I'm saying? They both got a catalog. That's crazy. They got a catalog. I ain't gonna lie. We in a rabbit hole right now. Though, you know what I'm saying.
I got you. Well, I mean, about to say, are we? Do you have? I guess regarding. Okay, give me a 1 through 10 for rate out of 10 this Kanye West album.
I give it a 6.
Said you giving it a 6?
Yep.
6 out of 10. Okay, what? Okay, what? All right, closing out. What dropped it down to a 6?
Low level rapping. Everything else was
Okay.
good. Low
Okay.
level rapping and the songs just don't sound.
Marketing?
Huh?
Would marketing be in there as well?
No, the songs don't sound complete.
Mhm.
Quality of the songs sounds like a bunch of unfinished music. You
Okay.
might need to tighten up.
All
But,
right, no qualms there, man.
uh,
Jave, I appreciate you for hopping in with us, man. For everybody else out there, man, hit the comment box with us, hit that like button. Give me you guys' thoughts on this album. Anything else you want to tell the people, Jay?
and follow me at JAVE, YouTube, JAVE on Twitter.
Jave TV.
For sure.
Mhm.